Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Mozilla Project meeting. It is July 8th, and we are going to open this week's meeting, as we usually do, with a thanks to some Mozillians. The Mozilla Tech Speakers team would like to extend an heartfelt thank you to the following tech speakers who spoke at various conferences and events last week. Andrej, Rocky, Jayesh, and Trishul, thank you all for helping to spread the word about Mozilla and the open web. Let's give them a round of applause. Moving on to the calendar for this week, we've got some exciting updates for you. The Homebrew Website Club, which is a growing worldwide network of meetups for all levels of web users who want to take back their web experience from social media silos and own their online identities and content and interactions. The Homebrew Website Club will be meeting on Wednesday, July 10th in Nuremberg, London, Nottingham, San Francisco, and Seattle. It will be meeting July 11th in Brighton, and there are RSVP links in the wiki. Also on Saturday, July 13th, there's an Indie Web meetup in New York City. Again, RSVP included in the wiki. Next week, on Wednesday, I believe, Wednesday, July 17th, we have the ET Speaker Series with Casey Feisler. The topic is Growing Their Own, What We Can Learn from the Community-Driven Development of Archive of Our Own. Should be an exciting talk. It'll be hosted in Mountain View and broadcast on Airmo and YouTube. There'll be questions taken from Slack, so message Joe Fish on Twitter if you have any. That is next Wednesday, July 17th. Moving on to speakers for today, we are going to start off with Jack Moffett with the Emerging Technologies Weekly Update. Jack?
Hello, everyone. So I wonder if anybody has tried hubs for their community meetups. You should. It's pretty cool. We're seeing a growing number of people do that as well. Recently, Spatial Assembly, a group that focuses on sensory design and spatial computing, has hosted several sessions on hubs since about May. They got up to 30 attendees at their most recent event to discuss the AR cloud. Now, hubs is all about helping bring people together. You don't even need special VR gear to take part, although it's really cool if you have it. You can also find links to those recorded sessions that Spatial Assembly did, plus the Discord channel to talk to the hubs team and ask questions in the written notes. And there's also a video of the Spatial Assembly meetup you can watch to see what it's like. Also, our Mozilla research grants, we just announced the first half of 2019 grant recipients. So there were 12 excellent researchers chosen from about 84 applications, 4 of them women, 8 of them men, from 11 institutions in 3 different countries, US, Ireland, and India. We had 130,000 people already view our award announcements. And these research grants are going to benefit Mozilla's resilience KPIs and trying to push forward progress on the internet as a whole across a wide range of things. So they might be simple outputs like papers and talks, strategic guidance to Mozilla or the world, code contributions, or larger things like building our own behaviors, influencing the research ecosystem, or building relationships with various academic institutions and demonstrating our commitment to inclusive innovation. If you want to read more about the specific grants, there's a blog post in the notes as well. I think some of the highlights were better support for Tor in the browser, understanding ad preference controls, and using speech on mobile phones in India, and alternatives to advertising for funding of internet things. All really interesting things and worth going and taking a look at. And lastly, we have an announcement about hardware AV1 decoders. So previously, we've talked a lot about our work to provide fast AV1 decoding in Firefox, as well as the encoding software to improve upon the state of the art, which we're doing with partners like Vimeo. Last week, Realtek announced the first hardware-based support for AV1 aimed at 4K ultra-high definition content. It's basically a system on a chip that does 4K AV1 decoding for set-top boxes. So I think that's the first bit of the first AV1 hardware starting to hit the market. And that's all from ET this week.
Thank you very much. Exciting to see this AV1 hardware coming out, and I hope that we do see some Mozilla communities engaging meetups through hubs. That's a real exciting opportunity. Next up, we have me, Asa Dotzler, with your weekly Firefox update. Firefox 67.0.4 is our current stable release, but that's about to be replaced with Firefox 68. 68's in the beta channel, but it ships to release tomorrow, July 9th. Users of the released version of 68 will enjoy crypto mining and fingerprinting protection options. They'll also appreciate the enterprise roots fix for antivirus software breaking Firefox connections. Web render is enabled for AMD desktop users. A full-page accessibility color contrast audit is landed in DevTools, and we have WebAuthn support on Fennec. It's also worth noting that Firefox 68 is an ESR release. This is our enterprise support releases that get supported for much longer than our mainstream consumer release. Today is Merge Day and the end of the nightly soft code freeze as nightly becomes Firefox 70. It was 69 this morning. Probably when you get back to your desks or sometimes later on today, it will be Firefox 70. Over the last week, developers have fixed about 340 bugs. This is off from our normal fix rate of something closer to 500, but is expected because we were in our soft code freeze where we don't want to take any dramatic changes that might break the build right before uplift to beta. That being said, we did have a couple of notable fixes land behind preferences. Firefox now has a What's New button in panel that can be used to let users know what's new in a Firefox update. Previously, our What's New information would live in a tab, and we're trying to come up with a way to be a little less obtrusive than taking over a whole tab for What's New. So this update to Firefox will allow us to show a little toolbar button in a panel with What's New information about the latest release. And Firefox now has native customization for macOS Touch Bar. If you're a Touch Bar fan, you can customize that now using a native customized dialog that lets you change up what elements you have in your Touch Bar. And that's it for the Firefox update this week. Next, we move on to Andrew Krug with the IT Minute. Andrew, take it away.
It's time for the Weekly Minute Update, where we tell you all the things IT is doing to empower Mozillians in their mission to keep the web a global public resource open and accessible to all. Just two quick updates today. First off, from Business Operations Support Services, over the weekend an upgrade was performed on the Confluence platform, which internally we refer to as mana.mozilla.org. There were a number of bug fixes and new features, the most notable of which is that Mana now has a mobile-friendly layout. For more information on the upgrade, there are upgrade notes available at the link below. Any issues, please reach out to #Mana support on Slack. Next and finally, WPR and IT will be conducting an X Matters readiness drill for all users in the Americas this Thursday, July 11th at 1 p.m. PST. X Matters is the tool that allows you to let Mozilla know if you're safe during an emergency alert. WPR has a goal of getting to a global 80% device enrollment by the end of 2019 for all paid staff and contractors. If you'd like to support that goal by enrolling your device today, please visit the following site at the link below. Once again, that drill is Thursday, July 11th. Questions go to #WPR on Slack. That's it for this very short minute. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Andrew. Going to do a quick reload of the agenda to see if anything else has crept on. It doesn't look like it. So with that, we will move to our final segment for the meeting today, and that is introductions to new Mozillians. We're going to start off here in Mountain View with Chris Lynn, who has an introduction.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to introduce Mohit Arora to join Mozilla family. He'll be responsible for all the core IT services, including service tech, audio, video, and network and system. So any escalation, any disruption of productivity, any great ideas about how we can do better, here's your man. All right, thank you.
We're going to continue here in Mountain View. Josh Howard has a couple of introductions to make.
I'd like to welcome Stuart Henderson, who joined us actually last Monday. He is remote in Indiana, and he's joining our software engineering team here in IT. He'll be working on a number of different projects. I don't know if he's actually on the Zoom call and can wave, but maybe he is.
Hello.
Hello. A virtual wave. Awesome. And then next, I'd like to welcome Andrew, who just started several hours ago, and I think I see him over there, as front-end software engineer on the same team as Stuart is. So welcome, Andrew.
Welcome. Thank you. Next up, we have yet another introduction. Justin Dolsky here to introduce a intern. Justin, come on up.
Hey folks, I'm Justin Dulski. I'm here to introduce Tim Nguyen. He's a returning intern. I think this is internship number 3 for you. He's worked on such exciting projects in the past as janitor, desktop theming, and this summer he's going to be working on Lockwise. So welcome, Tim.
Welcome. Again, I'm going to do a quick refresh to see if any others have made it on the list. I don't see. If there are any introductions in any of the offices, now is your 5 seconds to chime in and get in front of a podium. If not, it looks like that is the end of our meeting, wrapping up quickly. Hope everyone has a... Oh, we do have one more.
I do have
I'm
one
sorry.
more.
Go for it.
Sorry. All right. Sorry, I think I have yet. This is Arthur General. He's joining us here as episode to work on WebAssembly and lesson time with us.
Think that's it. We'll give 10 seconds this time. Sorry for cutting you off there. That's it for this week. See you all next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep on rocking the free web.